Tonight we are going to talk about one of the most audacious prison break in the history of modern. Tonight we are diving into one of the most audacious prison break in the modern history.
Straight out of Hollywood thriller.
I Priya
I Agna.
and we are the Papaya.
Unlike the movies, this one didn't have happy ending for our fugitives. Let's start with their capture.
That's right. On 28 June 2015, Richard Matt and David Sweat's dramatic run came to an end. Matt was shot dead by the authorities in Malone, New York, while Sweat was captured 2 days later near the Canadian border.
Yeah. Their 22-day escape captured the nationwide manhunt, the imagination, the fear of the public. But how did they end up there? Who were these men? And above all, how did they manage to pull off such an elaborate escape?
Let's get there. Before we delve deeper, let's talk about Dannemora itself. Officially known as the village of Dannemora, it's a quiet and small community located in the upstate New York, and its claim for fame is the Clinton Correctional Facility.
Yeah. Also, Priya, do you know famous rapper Tupac?
Yeah.
He was also sentenced to the same prison for committing some offense.
I was aware of his assassination, but then nothing about the imprisonment. That too in the same.
Yeah. Anyways, the prison, known as Little Siberia because of the winters, is one of the oldest and largest maximum security facilities of New York.
Opened in the 1845, it's famous for its harsh conditions in remote locations, surrounded by dense forest and, of course, brutal winters.
Yeah. The prison's design reflects its age, with massive stone walls and guard towers and intricate systems, including tunnels and maintaining its area beneath the surface. It's like this very architecture which Mettons were turned to their advantage.
The Dannemora's isolation was supposed to deter escape, but for these two, it became a challenge to overcome.
Yeah. Now, let's meet the men who took on this challenge.
Let's start with Richard Matt. Who had already spent 7 years of his time in Dannemora. He wasn't just a run-of-the-mill criminal. He was known for his charm. He was cunning and terrifying, violent, while also making him the master manipulator.
Yeah, he was convicted for brutal murder of his boss. Matt had planned for people over, but the bottle. He was also a profound artist who later went into art as well. So basically, this skill of art will become aid in the process of their escape.
Anyways, so now there's David Sweat, of course. Though quieter and less flamboyant than Matt, he was equally dangerous. He was serving a life sentence for killing the sheriff's deputy and hence spent most of the adulthood in jail.
Yeah, and despite spending most of his adulthood in jail, he didn't make complete waste of it. He kept on acquiring skills from more working sessions, making him the ensued.
So basically, Matt had the charisma, Sweat had the patience and discipline for the meticulous planning.
And together, they made formidable team who lived in honor block of the fortress.
The breakout wasn't just a spur of the moment decision. It was a meticulously crafted operation that began with the unlikely aid of Joyce Dilly Michelle, a civilian worker at the prison, and her colleague, Eugene Palmer.
Yeah. Joyce, an ordinary seeming woman with a troubled marriage, became entangled in an illicit affair with Matt, and according to some, Sweat as well. The manipulation was so intense claims that she smuggled in tools in frozen hamburger meat, completely unaware or perhaps in denial of the consequences.
Frozen hamburger meat?
How did no one notice?
Anyways, Eugene Palmer, the correction officer who was roped into the plan under the guise of friendship with Matt, of course, he thought he was just doing favors by giving the inmates better access for the food or the artwork supplies.
Matt, being the master manipulator, obviously has to possess some social skills, which did just help to better his relationships with power, but they were now also peas in a pod.
Other than the social skills, he also possessed another set of skills, the
Artistic
artistic skills. Through this particular skill, he enhanced his bonds with both Joyce as well as Bob.
By supposedly gifting paintings and whatnot.
It was also known that Matt had made one of the paintings for Palmer's affair, who was, by the way, his own colleague, Lamar.
And let's not forget Lyle Michelle, Joyce's husband. He's the unsung innocent in this saga, completely unaware of his wife's double life and her role in the escape plan.
So Lyle later broke his silence in one of the interviews with the NBC and spoke for his wife, denying any sort of affair between Joyce and Matt.
The drama between Joyce, Met, and Sweat is straight out of a soap opera.
Absolutely.
The escape began under the cover of darkness, in the seemingly impenetrable confines of the prison's honor block. Matt and Sweat, their cells adjacent to one another, began their journey by exploiting a design flaw in the century-old prison. Using smuggled tools, they meticulously cut through the steel walls at the back of their cells, creating an opening large enough to slip through. Their tools, seemingly mundane but deadly in the right hands, would become symbolic of their cunning and the prison's unwitting complicity in their escape. With each cut, they inched closer to freedom, their hearts pounding with a mix of fear and exhilaration. They worked silently, carefully collecting the metal debris to avoid arousing suspicion. Their meticulousness was paramount. Any noise could betray their plan and bring their dreams of freedom crashing down. They knew the risks, the potential consequences of failure, yet they pressed on, driven by a desperate longing for a life beyond the cold, unforgiving walls of Dannemora. Slipping through the opening in their cells, Matt and Sweat found themselves in a dark and dusty maintenance corridor. This marked the beginning of their journey through the labyrinthine underbelly of the prison, a hidden world of catwalks, pipes, and tunnels unknown to most of the prison staff. Armed with rudimentary maps and a knowledge gleaned from months of observation, they navigated this maze with astonishing accuracy, their escape hinging on each turn, each calculated step. They moved with a mixture of urgency and caution, their senses heightened in the darkness. The air, thick with the smell of dust and decay, echoed with the drip of water and the distant hum of machinery, a constant reminder of the industrial heart of the prison they were trying to escape. Each clang of a pipe, each creak of metal sent shivers down their spines, amplifying their fear of discovery. Yet, they pressed on, their determination fueled by the belief that freedom awaited them at the end of this perilous journey. Unbeknownst to the prison guards, Matt and Sweat's audacious plan had help from within. Joyce Mitchell, a prison seamstress, and Gene Palmer, a correction officer, became unwitting pawns in their elaborate escape. Mitchell, charmed by Matt's charisma, smuggled hacksaw blades and other tools, concealing them within frozen hamburger meat. Palmer, unaware of the true nature of his deliveries, inadvertently aided their escape by transporting the contraband past security checkpoints. Their assistance, though unwitting, proved crucial to the escape. Mitchell, driven by a misguided infatuation and promises of a new life, became their lifeline to the outside world. Palmer, a man known for his helpful nature, became an unsuspecting accomplice, his trust exploited by the cunning inmates. Their actions, a mixture of naivete and misplaced trust, highlighted the human element in an otherwise tightly controlled system, demonstrating how easily security measures could be circumvented. Their journey through the prison's underbelly led them deeper into its bowels, into the damp, fetid world of the sewer system. Following a predetermined route, they squeezed through narrow pipes, the metal cold and unforgiving against their skin. The stench of sewage filled their nostrils, a suffocating reminder of the degrading conditions they were enduring for their shot at freedom. Sweat, smaller in stature, found navigating the tight spaces particularly challenging. The air, heavy with the smell of decay, was difficult to breathe. Yet, they pressed on, their bodies battered, their clothes soiled, their determination unwavering. The promise of freedom, however distant, spurred them forward, each foot of progress a victory in this subterranean struggle for liberation.
And while they worked, the drama with Joyce reached a high fever pitch. She had promised to be their getaway driver on the night of escape. But she panicked so badly that she was hospitalized and obviously backed off the last minute.
Yeah, her change of heart forced Met and Sweat to flee on foot, drastically altering their plan, which was bold from the view, totally unexpected.
And even Joyce's confession later revealed the emotional manipulation she endured. She claimed to have felt attracted by Matt's charms and threats.
Yeah, and like her involvement and her husband's reaction basically turned the small town of Dannemora into a theater of scandal and speculation.
Let's zoom out and look at this escape system itself. The Clinton Correctional Facility was a fortress, but it had its vulnerabilities.
Yeah. The tunnels, which Met and Sweat exploited, were a part of an infrastructure which was outdated and it was designed for maintenance, not security.
And the knowledge of layout came from observation and inquiries we made through all these years.
Yeah. It's a chilling reminder of how the most secure systems can have weak points if someone is determined enough to find it out.
In the end, the Dannemora Prison break wasn't just a story of escape. It was a tale of manipulation, human errors, and lens people go for freedom.
And while it's easy to marvel at ingenuity, let's not forget the cost. A community shaken, lives endangered, and trust broken.
The story of Meth and Sweat is a cautionary tale, reminding us that the line between order and chaos is thinner than we think of.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you another time diving deep into history's most gripping stories.
Thank you.